Hello everyone and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial we're going to learn how to crochet step by step a men's beanie. And even though I mentioned that it's a men's hat, you can use it as a base for any hat that you want to make for men, women, even children. I'm using simple stitch half double crochet throughout my work, and usually on my videos for hats I usually mention that we want the beanie to be, once we finish our increases, we want the total circumference of the circle to be 4 centimeters smaller than the head circumference. The thing when we crochet with half double crochet is that even though we complete our increases in the next 2 rows of 1 stitch in every stitch, our work gets even larger. This is why when you complete your increases, you want the circumference of the circle to be 10 to 11 centimeters smaller than the head circumference. And once you finish the next 2-3 rows after your increases, you'll see that the circumference of the hat around is going to be about 4 centimeters smaller. Okay, so this happens only when we crochet with half double crochet. Our work, even though we finish the increases in the next 2-3 rows, it keeps getting even larger. So this is why, again, I mentioned we want it to be the circumference of the circle when you finish your increases to be 10 to 11 centimeters smaller than the head circumference. And the yarn that I'm going to use is Alize Super Lana Midi, which we're going to see in the next step, and I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. And this is what's left out of the 1 skein that I used. Okay, so you need less than 1 skein to crochet the beanie. So let's go ahead and see how to start. The yarn that I'm using is Alize Super Lana Midi, which is a medium weight yarn, and I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. Now we're going to start, and I'm going to start with my magic circle. Now, if you do not know how to do the magic circle, you can chain 4 and work a slip stitch in the first chain, and you make your ring that way. So I'm going to start with 10 half double crochet, and you're going to start with 10 half double crochet for any size that you're going to crochet. Even if you use a thinner or a thicker yarn, the difference is that you're going to work more or less rows of increases in order to get the correct size of hat that you need. So I'm going to start with my magic circle, and I'm going to wrap the yarn around my 2 fingers once and bring it on the top left. Put your hook under the right yarn, over the left, and bring it over. Turn your hook around once, grab the left yarn, and pull it through the loop. By doing this, we have worked the first chain to start our work. And now we're going to work a total of 10 half double crochet in the center of our magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now grab the yarn you started your magic circle with and pull it tight. And now I'm going to put my hook in the first half double crochet for this row, and I'm going to work a slip stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now we turn our work because if we keep working in the round, we're going to have a diagonal scheme on the back side of our hat, and it's not going to look nice. So every time in any stitch that you make, when you finish the row by working slip stitches, always turn your work for the new row. Now in row number 2, we're going to work increases in every stitch, and we're going to have a total of 20 half double crochet in the end of this row. So I'm going to wrap the yarn around once, put your hook right in the first stitch, and work 2 half double crochet in every stitch. Okay, so 1 in the same stitch, 2 half double crochet. In the next stitch, 3, same stitch, 4. Sorry, but I have a cold. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat every time. Okay, 4, next stitch, 5, and same stitch, 6. So keep working 2 half double crochet in every stitch up until the end of the row. When I finish and I have my 20 half double crochet, I'm going to turn the video back on to see how to finish the row and how to start row number 3. I've worked my 20 stitches. Now I'm going to put my hook in the first half double crochet for this row, and I'm going to work a slip stitch, chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work. Now in row number 3, we're going to work increases in every second stitch. So what this means is that by starting from the first stitch, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet. In the second stitch, I'm going to work 2 half double crochet. 1 and 2. Again, in the first stitch, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet. In the second stitch, I'm going to work 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. So what I want to mention, so you're aware of it, is that when we're crocheting in the half double crochet, as I'm working, it might seem that I'm working on the back loop. Although I'm crocheting correctly, I'm working through both of those 2 loops, okay? The difference with the other stitches is that when we're working half double crochet, the half double crochet has a total of 3 loops. 1, this one right here in the front, and the 2 loops over here. This one loop that stays on the front, it helps us work like an outline right over here, like the row is being outlined. So we're crocheting regularly in the stitch, no back loops or anything, but the loop right here in the front that stays over here of the half double crochet gives us a nice result. So keep repeating the pattern, work 2 half double crochet in every second stitch with a total of 30 stitches in the end of this row. I've completed row number 3 with a total of 30 half double crochet, and if you're doing correctly your stitches, your last stitch is going to be an increase. So the last stitch, you're going to have the 2 half double crochet. Now put your hook in the first stitch for this row, slip stitch, chain 1, and turn your work. Now in row number 4, we're going to work an increase in every third stitch. So what this means is that we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. 1, 2. In the third stitch, we're going to work an increase. 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. Again, the same pattern. 1 half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. 1 and 2. An increase in the third stitch, 2 half double crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 2. So keep following the same pattern up until you complete the row with a total of 40 stitches. I've completed row number 4. Again, since we're crocheting correctly, the last stitch is an increase. Okay, I have 40 stitches so far. Now put your hook in the first half double crochet for this row, slip stitch, chain 1, and turn your work. In row number 5, now we're going to work an increase in every 4th stitch. So every time that we want to make a flat circle, we do want to work increases in every new row that we start. We want to work an increase in the next stitch as we did in the previous row. So in the previous row we did increases in every 3rd stitch. In this row we're going to work increases in every 4th, and we're going to have a total of 50 stitches in the end of this row. So start, work 1 half double crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. 4th stitch is an increase, 2 stitches in the same stitch. 1 and 2. Again, 1 half double crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. In the 4th stitch, work your increase. 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. So keep following this pattern up until you complete the row. I've completed row number 5 with a total of 50 stitches. Now put your hook in the first half double crochet for this row, slip stitch, chain 1, and turn your work. Now in row number 6, we're going to work increases in every 5th stitch, and in the end of this row we're going to have a total of 60 stitches. So starting from the first half double crochet, work 1 stitch in each of the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the 5th stitch, work your increase. 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. So keep repeating this pattern, work an increase in every 5th stitch, and once I finish my row, I'm going to turn my video back on. We're going to have a total of 60 stitches in the end of this row. I've completed row number 6 with a total of 60 half double crochet. Now put your hook in the first stitch of this row, slip stitch, and chain 1. So now we're going to see how big is the circumference of our circle. Now the circumference has reached the 47 centimeters. Now I've mentioned in previous videos of hats that we want the circumference of the hat to be 4 centimeters smaller than the head circumference. Because we are crocheting with half double crochet, even though I'm at 47 and the head circumference is 58, because we're crocheting with half double crochet, in the next 2 rows of 1 stitch in every stitch, the circumference is going to get even larger, and that's because we're crocheting with half double crochet. So I'm going to stop increasing now at 47 centimeters. In the next 2 rows of 1 stitch in every stitch, the circumference of the circle is going to become bigger, so I'm going to get the circumference that I need. It's going to be in the end 4 centimeters smaller than the head circumference, even though we're stopping at the point where the circumference of my circle is 11 centimeters smaller. So in the next 2 rows, I'm going to get my circle is going to get 7 centimeters larger, even though I'm not going to crochet any more increases. So once you are at 10 to 11 centimeters smaller than the head circumference, please stop working increases and start working 1 stitch in every stitch. Okay, I hope I did not confuse you. So I'm at row number 6 with 60 stitches, chain 1, turn your work, and from here on we're going to be working 1 stitch in every stitch up until we complete our hat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting up until you have 60 stitches. I've completed row number 7 with a total of 60 stitches. Put your hook in the first half double crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, and see how after our first row of 1 stitch in every stitch how our head is starting to build up. But even though it has started to build up, my hat, because we're crocheting with half double crochet, it has gone even bigger. That's why even though the head circumference is 58 centimeters, we want to stop increasing at about 10 to 11 centimeters of the head circumference. So keep working 1 half double crochet in every stitch for a total of 60 stitches in every row. Now the total length of a men's hat is supposed to be around 22 centimeters. Once I reach my 21 centimeters, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how we're going to work the last 2 rows of single crochet to hold our hat together so it doesn't get loose. Okay, we always want to work, if we're not working a rib stitch, we want to work 1 or 2 rows single crochet in the end of the row to hold our beanie together. Okay, so once I reach my 21 centimeters, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've reached my 21 centimeters, and so far I have a total of 23 rows of half double crochet. Now, since we're crocheting the correct stitches in every row, and since we're using the same tension on our hook in every row, because sometimes we crochet looser, sometimes we crochet tighter, and the end result isn't as good as we want. So we try to crochet with the same tension from the beginning up to the end. See, if you do that, you'll have a perfect hat in the end. So now, in order to hold our hat and for not to get loose, we're going to work the last 2 rows of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Okay, so starting from the first stitch, start working your single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting 1 single crochet in every stitch around up until you have 60 stitches. I've worked my 60 single crochet, and I'm going to put my hook in the first single crochet for this row, and I'm going to work a slip stitch, chain 1, and without turning your work, start the second and last row of single crochet for this project. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting again up until you have 60 stitches. I've worked my 60 single crochet again. Put your hook in the first stitch for this row and slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. So at this point we've completed our beanie, and this is how it looks like. The only thing that's left is to weave in the ends, this one in the back loops of the stitches, and the end up here that's from the magic circle, you're going to weave in the top stitches up here through the loops of the half double crochet we did in the first row. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again. Bye bye.